I talk to you about the right side sympathetic nervous system, which is expressed by our subtle energy of Mahasaraswati, which gives us the power to act. By left side, we desire, and by using the right side, the power of Pingala Nadi, we act. I was telling you about the right side the other day. Let us see how our right side is built up. I'm sorry for people who have come for the first time, but every time when I start the introduction to the subject, again it becomes the same. But later on I'll explain to you about Sahaja. Now this right side Pingala Nadi is a very, very important energy-giving energy which makes us act and activate. Now this one is made of all the 5 elements. You know all the 5 elements that have created our physical being and our mental being. That's how it helps us to work out all our physical and mental problems, mental activities, and mental and physical growth. Now this being made by those 5 elements, when first time human being started thinking of doing some action about anything, say in India, they first thought, why not somehow or other reach to the principle of these elements, which is beyond physics, which is beyond chemistry. And to reach to that point, they thought it would be better if we try to invoke or to awaken the deities which are governing those 5 elements. This was a very big mistake though, I should say, because human beings, whatever they take up, they do not know where to stop. If you tell them that you have to clean your teeth every day, then they'll go on cleaning it 12 times in 12 hours. You tell them anything, they'll go so far that they will destroy the instrument which is supposed to be looked after. That's the nature of human beings. They cannot have breaks to themselves. They do not have common sense as far as balance in their life. So anything you give them, they become so mad after it that in Marathi there's a word is that they ultimately put ashes on their head to declare that I am dead now, I have become ashes. Like that, they get so frantic that even while doing this awakening of these principles, they lost their sight that we are after all spirit and not these elements. We are beyond that. We have to reach beyond that. All these elements are only useful for us to achieve a state in which we can create things and we can have more time to devote to meditation, to enjoy our self-realization. They got completely blinded by the advances they made on this side, which is, in pure and simple words, is materialism. They became so responsible, so efficient. First, in the Vedas, is written the first stanza is such that by reading these Vedas, if you do not know your spirit, then it is absolutely useless. But this stanza they always close down, I think. Then they started worshipping those deities, this, that, exciting them, doing all ritualism and all that. And they just went into it headlong, absolutely headlong. They would not turn back. So by exciting these elements, they discovered the principles of these elements. For example, they discovered that gravity is the essence of the Mother Earth. But it is not. That is not the essence of the Mother Earth. That is the energy that is asserted by her, but her essence is her fragrance. They could not cross that limit where they could see really the subtle thing, which was the subtle principle of this energy of gravity, is the fragrance. All the fragrances come from her. Of course, man-made there are. That's different. But even the man-made are also coming from her. If you go trace the source it up to the point, it is from there. Like that, they went on discovering the subtler, so-called subtler energies or the principles of these elements from the Vedas time. Then it became a science. People started studying physics, chemistry, this, that, understanding what was there before them by going into it and trying to find out what is it made of. For example, they went into atoms. They went into, say, molecules and things, and they tried to find out. And there they find the oscillation of the protons, and they find the oscillation of these atoms. They just can't understand now from where this energy of this oscillation is coming. They could not capture that energy, so they thought better use the energy. So they started using the energy. Now it has gone to such a limit of the whole thing is now I saw that microchips or something coming up. After some time, you won't be using hands or head or anything. It will be that microchips will be going on. But with this kind of a thing, with this extreme behavior, you will become a machine yourself, a slave of the machine. Today the petrol is exhausted, tomorrow electricity is exhausted, then what are you going to do? You don't know even to count 2 plus 2. So you are left without any counting. You will become the same primitive man. And I don't know what will you be doing. Climbing on the trees and living like monkeys. I don't know what will happen. So all these advancement that you did has gone too far. But as a result of too much efficiency, too much responsibility and all that, you became sort of addicted to it. And then with that you started dominating other people. The machinery came in, with that you produced such a lot of machinery stuff that you didn't know what to do, so you had to find out markets where you'll sell them, so you started capturing other markets where you started selling them, and that's how all these economic problems and all these have started. There are developing countries, there are developed countries, all things going on in this mad world. But we reach a point now where we realize that this machine has done something nonsensical within us. When we reach that point, we start thinking, now what are we to do?